YouTube. It's Matt with Olympus Reptiles, and today we're in a shop, but we're not in our shop. We're actually at Wichita. You want to tell us about where we're at?
We're at Tails and Scales. We are out in Derby, Kansas. We are a exotic pet store that specializes in reptiles and amphibians for the most part. We do other things such as small mammals and rodents and stuff like that, but our main basis is reptiles. That's what we try to focus on. We provide high quality animals such as high desire ball pythons, corn snakes, stuff like that. We also do like lower end like leopard geckos, small starter pets for people who want to start getting into reptiles.
So this is kind of like the Derby version of Manhattan Reptile World, although I think you guys got more space. I'm a little bit jealous right now, I'll be honest. But you can see the same kind of thing. They're going to carry a lot of the equipment, and they're going to supply the Derby, Wichita area with all their exotic pets. You guys have been here for a long time. Like, this is a well-established business, right?
Yep, almost 18 years now.
18 years. And then two, the owner's John, correct?
Yes.
And John's really well known around the area for doing exanthic. We've talked about it before. One of the people you want to get exanthic from, if not from us, you got John Dog, John Stoltz, and Tallgrass. That's who I'd recommend getting your SK line stuff from. So he's one of those guys that's very well established, and most of the pythons are going to carry for balls come from his stock. Is that right?
Yeah.
So, which is
all
awesome.
of our ball pythons come straight from John himself, but we do have like blood pythons and carpet pythons, which we do get from other local breeders, friends that have been known for good quality and good temperament and everything like that.
Which is awesome, because I'll be honest, sometimes we have to buy from other places here that they can produce enough locally to carry in the shop. That's great. So you got a few animals we kind of talked about. Why don't we start with, which one do you want to start with?
We'll start with the blue tongue.
All right, well,
just because she's going to be a little bit
about her.
She's going to be a little bit more calm.
And of course, if you watch a lot of YouTube, you've seen a lot of blue tongue skink stuff recently, because Brian Barczyk has been huge into these. But he's not the only guy with blue tongue. You're starting to see him in other places a lot. And this is a really pretty lizard right here. Check that thing out. Now, how old is this one, do you think?
This one is probably about 6 months old.
As you can see, if that tongue will come out, it will be a blue color. Maybe. There it went. So and these actually make really good lizards because they're pretty docile. Like you can see, it's not trying to bite. It's really not trying to run really fast. It's not doing any of that stuff that makes people freak out. And that's really the thing that makes these, why people think that they may be the next big thing in reptiles. Correct?
Yes.
They
are very mellow and very chill. They do make really good pets because they are omnivores. They will eat just about anything. They do get a reasonable size. I mean, closer to 2 foot, like bearded dragon size. They're so much more calm. They're like a giant leopard gecko, essentially.
I've long believed when it comes to pet reptiles, it's kind of like Goldilocks. And what I mean is, you got to be not too small, not too big, but just right. And these guys are going to fit that bill, kind of like ball pythons.
Yeah.
So what made them popular. They're not huge, but they're not
tiny.
You feel like you got a nice, large, impressive animal that you're not going to break too easy. And this is going to be the same thing in lizard form. So if you want your reptiles to have legs, this is probably the next thing that people think are taking over the market. That is really cool. But
they are really interesting.
They're so neat to feel. But there's another lizard I really like here that I want to learn about. So let's go and show that one. This one probably isn't going to be as common in the pet trade. It's not going to take as big of a
leap and a bound.
Place. But they're so cool looking. It makes me think of Jurassic Park.
If I can get her.
It may not cooperate as well because, again, they're just not as easy to work with as the blue tongue skinks. But we'll see. Here it comes. And that is a frilled dragon. Now the colors, you guys know I love all the exanthic stuff, and this with that kind of black and white going on, that kind of silver, almost like gargoyle gecko look. It's so cool. But you can see it's a lot more attituded, but look at the frills coming out. It's like that, that iconic scene in Jurassic Park where the dinosaur pops up and the frills flip. This is what it reminds me of so much, and they're just so unique and so wild looking.
Will you frill up?
Is he gonna frill? Maybe. A little bit. But I just love the colors and the pattern of the camo. So I don't think this will take as much of a market share as like a blue tongue skink will. But for somebody looking for something unique, could you beat this?
No. They are going to need more of the care of like a bearded dragon, high intense heat, nice UVB, a bigger cage. They are going to want to be a little bit more arboreal than a bearded dragon per se. But just they're so unique because of that frill. It is so awesome to watch them frill up, and when they eat, it's They get mad at their prey. They do that frill. It's so adorable. They can be a little bit
nippy,
a little bit
right now.
spuncious.
Oh, I wouldn't doubt that at all, but they're just such a cool looking creature. So this would be something if you're wanting something different and you kind of got that experience level and you don't mind something that's not quite as tame, this could be an excellent pet. This is kind of like probably the
If you're wanting
green
something a little bit
python
less
snake world.
basic than a dragon or a leopard.
They jumpers at all. We're going to see there it went.
Oh, calm down.
That
You
thing
want
is
back
so
in?
cool. And now, you got something really big in here, right?
Yes, we do.
Let's check this one out. Now I know these can be kind of hit and miss either way. How is this one on temperament?
She is really good about how she acts. She isn't quite near as aggressive as our retic, who is a little bit more food aggressive just because she is pushing 18 years old and 18 foot. She does get a little bit more anxious about food. She was one of our best handlers. She was something that we would let anybody touch, pretty much. But she did get one of our employees once. So we kind of put her on lockdown for a little while just to make sure she's calmed down, just because I think she was getting a little bit overstimulated, to be honest, because so many people were coming in and petting her. She was a show animal for the first 5 years of her life. A good friend of ours was doing shows at like schools and daycares and all kinds of places. But she just got too big for him. So we found him a little bit easier to manage.
A little better
friend.
spot for him here.
Yeah.
What's kind of neat when you have these in juxtaposition like that with the reticulated python and the anaconda is this is where the debate always rages of the biggest snake, because the retic has the record for the longest snake, but the anaconda has the record for the largest snake based on weight. So it all depends on what you consider the biggest. But these are your two known giants. And I think anacondas are so cool because it's just, I mean, and they're part of the boa family, not the python family. Looks like we're in shed right now.
Yes, we are.
Oh yeah, we're in a little bit of blue. So there's no heat pits here. You can see that tongue. Look at that. She is just beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. Oh. Get this back ass for you. Oh.
Hi, baby.
And this is sometimes a two-person job because you can just see the size of the snake. It is massive. But they don't deserve the reputation they have. You know, everybody's like, oh, this is so big it's going to eat people. That just doesn't happen. You know, there was even a special where a guy tried and failed. Like, they just don't do that. Actually, the snake that's most known to eat people would be reticulated pythons on a rare occasion with really,
I've
really
eaten
small
babies,
people. Yeah.
but
Human
that's,
beings,
I mean, that's
snake
pretty, it's
extremely
hard,
rare.
yeah. That's pretty hard to find.
We don't make good snake prey. We have wide shoulders, so we don't fit very well. They have to eat us from the front because our legs would just kind of coil up otherwise. So we're just not a good prey item for them. But these guys are definitely an apex predator where they're at. I know. Yeah.
If you can see, her eyes are on the top of her head. Those are developed. Those are specialized for setting in water because they do come from the Amazon basin and they do spend most of their lives in the water. That is equipped for seeing above the water surface. They'll sit there with just the peak of their head, just like alligators and your crocodilians will, and they'll just wait for something to walk by the water's edge and then just snap on it.
Just grab it up right there.
Yep. Favorite food in the wild is probably capybara.
Which is like a massive, massive, massive
guinea pig.
rodent.
Yeah. It's like a giant guinea pig.
But these guys are just, they're so cool because just the sheer size and strength. And so also, with them being the heaviest and the retics being the longest, you can debate who's bigger, boas or pythons. Right?
There is a pretty big debate about that. I mean, oh love.
You know, there's always also the rumors of these things are 50 feet, and they're not.
No.
The longest one that's ever been found, I think, was
26 feet.
Right.
26 feet.
I think the retics are about 28.
Yeah.
So it's really close. Could there be something bigger in the Amazon? Sure. There's places we can't get. But the weight difference between these and retics is
quite a bit.
massive. These guys, because of being in the water like a hippo, they can disperse all that weight with water. So they can
Whereas
be
a
very big,
retic
very
are
heavy.
more jungle, forest type areas where they're a little leaner and meaner. They have a lot slenderer body. They're more of a go find it predator versus where this will sit in the water for hours and hours and just wait for something to walk by.
The alligator was a really good analogy on that because that's kind of what they're going to do. Oh, we like nose to nose? Just don't bite me in the face. All right, so should we throw this one back up?
Yeah.
Then you got something else here that we don't have at all. And that is you have an entire fish section too,
Oh yeah, we do.
Come on. Here's the other fun part. When you go to get these back in, they have to decide to go because you cannot out-strength one of these.
Nope, there's no way you're gonna out-muscle her.
Help convince it, and you can kind of guide it, but you cannot force Anaconda to do something. It, even though we outweigh it, is stronger than us by far.
Oh yeah.
The strength in them is just insane. So I really, really enjoy these guys. Let's go take a peek at the fish section because we just don't have any. Fish is one thing we don't have room to carry. And so not only here can you get your exotic reptiles, you got your whole fish section over here.
I think bristlenose are pretty cool. Plecostomus, just because they don't get very big, and males will get gigantic bristles. Like these ones down here, I have an adult albino male and a normal adult male. And as you can see, they have very large horns, which is a very unique piece of a Plecostomus. They're the only species that does have those rhino-like horns. And a lot of people don't really get they think that like algae or something's growing on their face. It's actually not. It's just the males will use those to ward off predators from eating the babies, because the males will actually, they are the ones that take care of the babies. They'll sit in a hole where the females laid her babies, and then they'll protect them until they're about 12 weeks old.
So they're like our buddy Dave, stay-at-home dad, right?
Yeah.
All right, guys, that's all we got here. But if you find yourself in the Wichita area, make sure to take a little short drive out to Derby and check out this shop, because they're going to have a lot of cool fish, a lot of cool reptiles. There's ball python babies here for sale now, and you guys know I love ball pythons. I know I saw pied, I saw some pinstripe, I saw a ghost,
banana.
And there was bananas up there, and it's always rotating stuff in and out. You'll also find these guys go to a lot of local shows in the area, so make sure to look for a Tails and Scales booth at a show near you. And
if you guys are ever in Tinley or Daytona, we are always there too.
And who wouldn't want to be in Daytona? I'd much rather be in Daytona right now, honestly. All right, guys, thanks for watching. We'll catch you next week.